You would do Rambo, and then he would do...
Commando.
Commando, yeah.
When people think of Sylvester Stallone, they picture Rocky standing victorious in the ring or Rambo charging through a battlefield. But behind the cameras, Stallone fought very different wars, not with fists or guns, but with fellow Hollywood legends. Some of these feuds exploded into public scandals. Others stayed hidden for years. They weren't just petty arguments. They shattered friendships, derailed careers, and nearly destroyed major films. These are the 6 actors Sylvester Stallone truly couldn't stand. And the stories behind each one will completely change the way you see him forever. Number 1. Steven Seagal, the Alpha War that never ended. By the early 1990s, Sylvester Stallone was one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, and so was Steven Seagal, the martial arts sensation who had exploded onto the scene with Under Siege. On paper, the 2 action heroes should have been allies. In reality, they couldn't stand each other. The trouble started when Seagal, known for his ego as much as his Aikido skills, began publicly dismissing Stallone's toughness. He claimed he could beat him easily, bragging that most action stars, Stallone included, were just actors pretending to fight. Word got back to Stallone, and he didn't take it lightly. The tension became Hollywood gossip. 2 alpha males quietly circling each other, both too proud to back down. Then came the showdown everyone talked about. In the mid-1990s, Stallone hosted an event at his Miami home, packed with action stars, including Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Willis, and Seagal. According to witnesses, Stallone confronted Seagal about his trash talk. Van Damme, who also had beef with Seagal, joined in, challenging him to a fight on the spot. Seagal laughed it off, but when Van Damme followed him outside, ready to go, Seagal ran out of the party and never came back. Stallone later recalled it with amusement. Van Damme was ready to knock him out. Steven just disappeared. From that night on, Stallone saw Seagal as all talk, a man who hid behind arrogance instead of courage. In interviews, he would later throw subtle jabs, calling Seagal not exactly the most humble guy in the room. The bad blood never healed. 2 icons of action cinema, forever divided by pride. One who fought his wars on screen and off, and another who couldn't stand the heat when it got real. Number 2. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the rival he hated most. Of all Stallone's enemies, none burned hotter than his rivalry with Arnold Schwarzenegger, a feud that defined an entire era of action cinema. It began at the 1977 Golden Globe Awards when Stallone, fresh off the success of Rocky, expected the night to celebrate his underdog triumph. Instead, he sat in disbelief as award after award slipped away. And there was Arnold, laughing every time Rocky was snubbed, before walking off with the trophy for New Star of the Year. Stallone snapped. He later admitted, "I threw a bowl of flowers at his head." That moment lit the fuse for a 15-year Cold War of egos. The 1980s became a cinematic battlefield. Stallone fired back with Rocky II, Rambo, and Cobra, while Arnold countered with Conan the Barbarian, The Terminator, and Predator. Every movie felt like a shot fired in their personal war. They mocked each other on screen, Arnold smirking at a Rambo poster in Twins, Stallone punching an Arnold lookalike in Tango and Cash. But the real blows came off camera. Arnold tricked Stallone into accepting a disastrous script for Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot, by pretending he wanted the role. Stallone, driven by pride, jumped on it, only for critics to tear the film apart. For years, neither man would yield. Fans loved the rivalry, tabloids fed on it, and it pushed both to their limits. But time softened the tension. By the 2000s, the 2 had finally buried the hatchet, appearing together in The Expendables and even opening a restaurant side by side. Stallone later admitted, "We were fierce rivals, but that rivalry pushed us to be our best." What began in humiliation ended in hard-earned respect, a rare Hollywood feud that transformed from hatred into brotherhood. Number 3. Bruce Willis, the brotherhood broken by greed. When Sylvester Stallone launched the Expendables franchise, it wasn't just another action movie. It was a love letter to the legends of the 1980s, a reunion of tough guys who once ruled Hollywood. At the center of that brotherhood was Bruce Willis, a man Stallone saw as a fellow soldier in cinema's golden age of grit and gunfire. For a while, it looked like a perfect partnership. Willis played Church, the mysterious CIA handler who guided Stallone's mercenary crew through missions. It wasn't the biggest role, but his presence gave the film's prestige, a sense of old-school power. The 2 men worked side by side through The Expendables and Expendables 2 with no visible tension. But by 2013, as The Expendables 3 began production, things took a turn that shocked Hollywood. Willis demanded $4 million for just 4 days of work, $1 million a day. No negotiations, no flexibility. For Stallone, who had built the franchise around loyalty and respect among veterans, it felt like betrayal. Instead of caving, he fired Willis on the spot and replaced him with Harrison Ford. But Stallone didn't stop there. He went public, posting a brutal tweet calling Willis greedy and lazy for the entire world to see. Overnight, fans took sides. The brotherhood image shattered, and the fallout was immediate. Hollywood insiders began whispering about Willis being difficult and obsessed with money. Stallone's words had landed like a punch that couldn't be taken back. Even though The Expendables 3 still made over $200 million, something was lost. The old camaraderie was gone, and the bond between Stallone and Willis was beyond repair. They haven't spoken since. What began as mutual admiration between two action icons ended as a cold, public breakup, proving that in Stallone's world, loyalty matters more than fame or fortune. Number 4, Eddie Murphy. The friendship destroyed by rumors. In the late 1980s, Sylvester Stallone and Eddie Murphy were more than just two megastars. They were friends. Both were at the top of their game, dominating box offices and Hollywood parties alike. They shared laughs, mutual respect, and a sense of brotherhood that crossed the boundary between comedy and action. But one rumor changed everything. It all began in 1987 during the filming of Beverly Hills Cop 2. Stallone's then-wife, Brigitte Nielsen, had been cast in the movie opposite Murphy. She was bold, magnetic, and impossible to ignore. And soon, whispers started to spread on set that there was more than just chemistry between the two. Crew members talked, tabloids picked it up, and before long, Stallone's name was tangled in scandal headlines. Even if the rumors weren't true, the damage was done. Stallone felt humiliated, mocked in the media, and betrayed in private. In anger, he called Murphy directly and demanded answers. "What's going on between you and Brigitte?" he asked. Murphy denied everything, but Stallone didn't believe him. The trust that once defined their friendship cracked completely. From that moment, everything changed. What used to be easy camaraderie turned into cold silence. They stopped attending the same parties, stopped speaking altogether, and Hollywood quickly took sides. Their feud became public, and gossip outlets started comparing them. Who had the bigger movies, the better box office numbers, the stronger fan base? Eddie Murphy later called it sad that gossip could destroy a friendship, but Stallone never looked back. What had started as mutual respect ended in permanent distance. A rumor may have sparked it, but pride made sure it never healed, turning one of Stallone's closest friends into just another name on his long list of enemies. Number 5, Richard Gere, the mustard incident that never died. Sometimes the smallest moments cause the biggest feuds. And for Sylvester Stallone and Richard Gere, it all began with a sandwich. In 1974, before either man was famous, they were cast together in the low-budget coming-of-age film The Lords of Flatbush. Both were hungry young actors trying to prove themselves, but their styles couldn't have been more different. Stallone was raw, street-smart, and hands-on. Gere was theatrical, technical, and precise. From the start, they clashed over everything, from line delivery to attitude. The breaking point came during a cramped car scene. Gere was eating a chicken sandwich loaded with mustard, and a drop accidentally spilled onto Stallone's pants. The moment it happened, the set went dead silent. Stallone, already frustrated by Gere's behavior, snapped. He elbowed Gere in the head and threw him out of the car in front of the entire cast and crew. The producers had no choice but to fire Gere, officially citing creative differences. But everyone on set knew what really happened. Stallone had asserted dominance. The fallout was instant. Gere was humiliated, and the story spread through Hollywood like wildfire. Stallone later downplayed it as a simple personality clash, but the bad blood only deepened over the years. Gere, meanwhile, never forgot the public embarrassment. As both men rose to fame, Stallone through Rocky and Rambo, Gere through American Gigolo and An Officer and a Gentleman. Their feud became one of Hollywood's longest-running grudges. Decades later, fans still whispered about the mustard incident. Stallone occasionally mocked Gere in interviews, while Gere refused to even mention Stallone's name. They've never reconciled, never worked together again, and still avoid each other to this day. What could have been an early alliance between two future icons instead turned into one of Hollywood's pettiest and most enduring rivalries. Number 6, Kirk Douglas, the ego clash on First Blood. Before First Blood became the legendary franchise that made Rambo a household name, it almost fell apart because of one man, Kirk Douglas. The Hollywood icon, known for Spartacus and Paths of Glory, was originally cast as Colonel Sam Troutman, Rambo's mentor and moral anchor. Stallone was thrilled at first. Having an old Hollywood titan join the project gave First Blood serious credibility. But that excitement quickly turned into chaos. Douglas, used to commanding every set he walked onto, didn't just want to act, he wanted control. After reading the novel the film was based on, he insisted the story end with Troutman killing Rambo. "That's how it should end," he reportedly said, arguing it gave the movie more tragedy and weight. Stallone, who had rewritten much of the script himself, was furious. To him, Rambo wasn't supposed to die. He was a symbol of broken soldiers trying to survive a world that forgot them. And Douglas did, walking off set just days into production. Stallone replaced him with Richard Gere, who memorized his lines on the way to filming. Ironically, Krena's calm, compassionate energy balanced Stallone's intensity perfectly, turning the movie into a worldwide success and launching a billion-dollar franchise. Afterwards, Stallone never forgot Douglas's arrogance. He later remarked that some actors cared more about their exit than the story itself, a pointed reference to Douglas. They never worked together again, and in Hollywood circles, the incident became legendary. The day Stallone stood his ground against a cinematic giant and won. 6 rivals, 6 wars, each one showing that Sylvester Stallone didn't just play a fighter, he lived like one. Some enemies eventually earned his respect. Others became stories he refused to revisit. But all of them proved one thing. Behind the fame, the fortune, and the larger-than-life characters, Stallone's toughest fights were never on screen. They were personal. He wasn't just Hollywood's underdog, he was its survivor. And in a town built on egos, he made sure his was never the one that stayed down.